Boxing King Media. We're joined today from Canada with Otto Yerslanov. Have I said that right?
Biyarslanov, yeah.
The B is silent, isn't it?
Biyarslanov.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good.
Sweet. Otto, how you doing, man? You're out there in Toronto, I believe. How's life?
Everything is good. I'm actually in Montreal.
Okay,
This is
right.
where I come from my training camps. My coaches, my team, everyone is here. So after my fights, I go back to Toronto to see my family.
Okay.
But I'm fourth week into my camp. Everything is going great. I feel good.
Awesome. So you managed to get your family across to Toronto as well. I believe your family originally was, back home in Russia. So have you managed to get everybody over now?
Yeah. We actually came to Canada all together. My mom, my sister, my brother, and me. And we've been in Canada now since 2005.
Okay.
So it's been a while.
All right. I thought you maybe gone yourself, and then your family obviously is still out there in Russia. Just out of curiosity, I mean, when you immigrated to another country, you probably could go to so many places. What attracted you to Canada?
I was really young that time. I didn't know much about Canada. I probably didn't even know where it was. I was only 9.5, 10 years old. My mom chose Canada because of I don't know. Just I guess it was just written for us to be here, and she wanted a better life for us, education, and all these opportunities Canada was given. So that's why I guess she chose to come to Canada.
And I think for the last few years, I always message you around winter time because you always put stuff up on your Instagram with the snow. Because back in the UK, we don't really get snow on that sort of level. What's it like at the moment? Has it snowed yet?
Oh, you know what? It actually snowed it snowed a little bit about 3-4 days ago, but it stopped like right away. And with the weather here, when the snow, it stays for very long. Like it snows in April. Last year it was snowing in end of April, beginning of May. So the weather here gets really cold when it gets cold. But so far it's been okay. Like it's not too cold, not too hot. So far it's good so far.
Sweet. So let's get into your fighting. So your last fought in April. Would I be right in saying it was your first real test? Israel Mercado that you thought he was 9-0 at the time. Obviously, reflecting back on that fight, you won on a majority decision. How did you think that fight went for you?
You know what? I'm actually happy that it went the distance. For the beginning of my career, I know what I need to work on. I know like where I stand stamina wise, and overall, like I'm happy with it. Like I got the win. That's all that matters. But if you ask if it was the hardest, yeah, of course it was the hardest because he was young, he was hungry, he got an opportunity, he wanted to take advantage of it. And these are the fights kind of looking for. I wanna fight harder and stronger people. That way I could improve myself, and that way I could see what I need to work on. So I was happy. Now I know like what I need to work on. I've been working on a lot of things. I improved a lot, and I've seen that in sparrings. So it's been a while since I fought. April is a long time. I was supposed to fight in August, then it got pushed back to September, and then that got canceled. So it's been pretty rough, but I've been staying in shape. I've been just giving me more time to train and get better. So I'm really looking forward to December.
How have you found it? Obviously, not being able to fight, managing to stay in the gym, and obviously, it's not easy, is it, for fighters having to like it because it costs a lot of money to train, and if you've got no fight dates coming up, it's.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's very difficult, especially financial too. When you gotta just train. You need some kind of sponsors or something. I got my brother who's supporting me always. Throughout my career, he's always been my sponsor that helps me and takes away all the stress that financial stress. So I'm very thankful to him. Thankful to him for I'll be for the rest of my life because he got me into the sport. He supports me all the way. So everything I do is for him and of course myself too. But yeah, it's been very long. Of course, it's difficult for all of us because because of the COVID, some fights get canceled, some events get canceled. But this is just the way I look at it is maybe for every bad there's a blessing. So this could be a blessing and give me more time to train and get better. So we'll see.
I hope so for you. What is the current promotional situation with yourself? Because I know you've signed with Probellum. Are you still with Matchroom, or what's happened there?
So my contract finished with Matchroom, and last fight I did it. It's just a one-fight contract that I had. And Probellum's new company, it just came out. My manager Keith Conley, he has good connections, and he told me about this new promotion company, and the idea of it was very interesting to me because you have the option of fighting worldwide now, not just like in the US or in England. You could fight all over the world. They're making they're making all these contracts with all these countries. So anytime, say for instance, a fight gets canceled, I could go to another country, fight at a different place, and I'm getting guaranteed fights per year, so I'm very happy with it, and I'm just looking forward to it.
That's good to see. Obviously, the more fights you have, the quicker you're going to develop and obviously be able to put into practice what you're learning. So how many fights are you supposed to be having? Is it 3, 4 a year, or?
So we'll see. I mean, if everything goes well this year, I'm supposed to be 2022. I'll get 4 fights after this December one. So, and I think this is perfect for me. It's gonna, I'll be the right time zone. I guess I'll be 27 years old. I already feel like I'm there now. I feel good. I feel strong, and I think from now on, it's only gonna reach my peak performance. So. And I just need fights to do that.
You just said you feel strong, but I thought you Chechen people are born strong anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say that we mature maybe faster than some other people, I guess, because it's just the way we're raised, like the way we're raised is like you have to think like a man once you're like 12, 13, and you have to, like, you get these responsibilities when you're 13 or 14, and you have to act like a man. So, I mean, of course, I grew up like this too. Even though I'm in Canada, I had my brother always tough on me, and I never forgot about my culture and the way we live. So I always felt strong. It's just what I mean is, everyone, doesn't matter, like, where you're raised. With age, you still become stronger and more mature. Age, of course, plays a big role. And you see these boxers too, most of them hit their peak when they're like 28, 29, that's when they're really, really strong. So this is where I feel like I'm really coming into that, and I feel like I'm there now. So.
Okay, so talking of your peak, you're fighting, you've got a date, December the 17th, on the undercard of Beterbiev versus Marcus Brown. Do you know who you're fighting? And, I think it's in Montreal, isn't it?
To be honest, my fights always, like, my opponent's been getting switched every time. Like my last 5 fights, my opponents got switched the fight week, the day before. So I'm not really not really worried about that. I just want to be ready for myself, because I know that, okay, they'll have an opponent now, but they could change any moment, because this always happens. I'm used to it. Right now, they're still looking for an opponent for me. It's not 100% confirmed yet, but they're looking. For me, I'm just going to be ready. Right-handed, left-handed. I train. I do my training, and if they have an opponent, it's good. I'll train for his style. But like I said, anything could change, and I'll be ready for it.
The problem is that you've got, and it's a common problem worldwide. A lot of fighters were non-punchers. You've got 6 knockouts in 8 fights. People know that you're a strong guy. It's very difficult to get fights, especially when you're trying to get learning fights. You might get a 50-50 fight quite easily because they're going to get paid, you're going to get paid. But when you bring in people to try and learn off, yourself, it's very difficult.
Yeah, I understand it. That's why I'm ready for any style, any fighter.
Obviously, you fight at lightweight. The current lightweight scene. Would you think is the number one? Obviously, there's Teofimo, there's Devin Haney, Diaz fighting soon. Which guys do you rate as the number one?
All these guys are good. I mean, they're champions for a reason. There's a bunch of them, like you said it yourself. Teofimo. There's Tank. There's Ryan Garcia. Now Diaz moved up in weight too, and I think it's a very stacked division, and these guys are young too, so I think they're going to be around for a while. So one day or another, I think we're going to meet maybe. So I always like to follow them. I like to watch boxing on YouTube videos. Yesterday, Canelo fought, great fight, and I think the future will tell. The future will tell uh, who we're gonna fight, who's gonna do good, and only time will show that. So
they're all different type of fighters. You've got Devin, who's quite slick and defensively good. You've got Gervonta, he's obviously a lot more powerful. You've got Teofimo, who's got a bit of everything. Which one of these guys would you think in about 18 months' time you could have quite an entertaining fight with?
Styles make fight. Styles make fight, and you could have a guy that's very technical, or if you put a guy that's like a sluggish with him, a powerful guy, you could beat him. So from my perspective, I think that I have it all. I could be technical, I could box, I could hit. So when you have all these equipment, all these what do you call it, accessories in your toolbox, yeah, I think for every fight you could just change a style. If the guy's slick, you could be ruggish with him. If he's aggressive, you could box him. Make him look stupid, and there's a lot of fight examples like this. And there's fights that we thought that was going to be, this fight was supposed to be hard, ends up being an easy fight. So I think it's just a matter of time. I think who fights who, and like I said, like Lomachenko, when he fought Teofimo Lopez, I honestly thought that Lomachenko was going to win, and I thought it was going to be pretty easy. But you see, like I said, styles make fights. Teofimo, he's a puncher, and he sat on that foot and he worked off. He didn't let Lomachenko do what he usually does, made him hesitate. So, like I said, styles make fights. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see. Time will tell. Maybe there'll be some new champions that move up in weight, or some guys that come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So it could always change.
100%. I'm going to move on to the big fight last night. Did you watch Canelo versus Caleb Plant? And what was your opinion of it?
I actually stayed up to watch that fight. I drank coffee because with my camp I sleep very early because I gotta wake up.
What time was it in Toronto when you say you stayed up?
To watch the whole fight, I ended up sleeping at around 12:45 a.m.
Shall I tell you what time I slept last night? 6 a.m.
6.
Yeah. When you're drinking coffee, we in the UK have to stay up till 5, 6 in the morning to watch your fights.
Yeah. No, that's it was very difficult. Like I was falling asleep, but because this fight was very entertaining, I had to see it. It was a very entertaining fight. I think Caleb Plant did very well before he went to the knockout. I had a very close fight. And this is what Canelo does. He's very patient, and he knows what he's capable of. And like most of his fights, they always end around 9 to 11 rounds. So I guess this is what his plan, and they worked for him.
At the end of the fight, he obviously people are always chucking names at him. He's wiped pretty much everybody out. There's David Benavidez potentially, but at the end of the fight, he would ask a question about you train alongside Beterbiev, and somebody asked him, a fight with him, and his reply was, "It's not a crazy idea. I love the idea, and I love challenges." What do you think Beterbiev would say about a fight like that with Canelo?
I'm sure Beterbiev will take it. He'll take any fight there is, and this would be probably Canelo's biggest challenge because, Beterbiev's the only world champion with 100% knockout ratio, and he holds 2 belts, and a lot of people they don't want to fight him. That's why it's kind of under the radar. It's not really known because people kind of like dodge him. But you got to fight champions if you want the belts, and if he wants the belts at 175, he'll take the fight. But I think Artur Beterbiev, this guy, he's for him, I don't think age matters for him because like we train together, and like I see him the way he trains, he trains like he's 25 years old. He has everything. He has power, strength, conditioning, and I think as long as that he boxes, I just don't see anyone beating him at 175 yet.
Obviously, you train with him every day, so you guys must talk. What's his opinion of Canelo, and what does he say when people say, like, Canelo Beterbiev, that is like the ultimate dream fight at the moment?
He's a guy that'll take any fight. Like I said, he's open for anything. If Canelo moves up, he wants to fight, it will happen. So Arthur's open to any fights, I believe, and and this would be a great opportunity for Canelo also. If he wants to unify 175, he could take 2 belts if he wants, and take the fight. So I think it would be very interesting, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people would want to see that fight.
Having obviously watched Canelo most of your career, and obviously you're training with Beterbiev, try and be as neutral as you can. What do you think would happen in that fight?
You see, when Canelo fought Golovkin, right? Golovkin's a power puncher too, and Canelo had a problem with that, and I'm not saying that all like others opponents weren't power punchers, but Arthur is on a different level. This guy, he hits really hard, and I think if Arthur works his body in the early rounds, I think Arthur could stop him. But if Canelo is on his best game and he's moving and he's not always coming forward, but boxing, maybe if he'll go to it could go to decision, and maybe he could win rounds. But overall, to be honest, it's just the way I see Arthur train. And
you say the way he trains. Try and tell the people who may not understand, might be watching this today, thinking, what does he mean when he says you got to watch this guy train?
It's like the way he trains. He's an animal. He doesn't just do 10, 20 rounds. This guy will go 40 rounds, and he could still go another 40 rounds. I've seen him spar. He had 3 different sparring partners that he would bring. They'll go in one round after another, because they couldn't go 2 rounds straight, 3 rounds straight with him. They would have to take 1 round break. And all these guys, he would hurt them, and some guys, they wouldn't want to come back in for another round, and that's why he won't be able to do full 12 rounds with these guys. And then they'll have to bring another sparring partner, and a lot of people, they don't see this. And these are 16-ounce gloves, right? These are big gloves we're talking about. And if you're hurting guys, top guys in sparring, and and you're training like you're not your age, like you're 25, I just don't see anyone beating when I see all this stuff. Of course, everyone has a bad day, good day in boxing. I know his last performance wasn't great, and some people gonna think, they see some holes and stuff, and this is normal. This is okay. But when you see a first-hand experience of the training camps that he does, you'll be amazed.
Amazing. I hope the fight gets made, because it would be very intriguing. I think it'll be a huge event. Just the fact Canelo coming up fighting a guy who's just a beast. One more guy I want to ask you about is Arslanbek Makhmudov. I think I've said the name right. From your part of the world, 13-0 heavyweight. There's not a lot of talk about him, but he's a big guy. I think he trains in Montreal as well. What do you know about him?
We train together, actually.
Oh, did he train with you as well? I didn't know.
Yeah. Me and him actually would do strength conditioning together.
All right, okay.
Arthur does strength conditioning separately, but we'll do boxing together. We'll do strength conditioning together, and I'll tell you, this guy, I could tell you his records, how much he benches and how much he squats. You'll be amazed. This guy could bench 180 kilos.
Wow.
180 kilos bench. I don't think there's any boxer that could bench that. And he could squat 260 kilos, and he's a big guy, but he's so athletic. He could play soccer. I don't know if you've seen his videos. He could kick 3 meters high. He's very fast. When we do drills sprinting and stuff, he keeps up with me. He's very I'm fast because I'm lightweight and I've done track and field before. But for him, for a heavyweight, he's a bullet, and he trains very hard, and he's very strong too. Like his right hand is very dangerous, and you might think just his right, but his left hook too. His left hook is really bad, like really dangerous too. So this is another guy that I think people should look out for. I think he will become a world champion, I believe, and I think he has the power that could knock anyone out.
Right. Well, let's hope the fans get to see all three of you guys, dominate on the world stage very soon. Is there anybody you want to thank and sign us out with your socials, etc.?
Of course, yeah. Firstly, I wanna thank my manager, Keith Conley, who is giving me all these opportunities, all these contracts. He really got my career going up. I fought on big cards on the zone, Matchroom. So I'm very happy that I got this kind of a manager. I also want to thank my coaches, my team, everyone that supports me. Of course, the fans that always watch and comment and all my stuff, that follow me, everyone that buys my stuff on millions.co. And my sponsors, USG, Howie Lee, very nice guy. I had him for 2 years. Always making me my fight gear, gives me gloves and all the stuff. Very nice guy. And just everyone else that supported me before, all the sponsors that I had before too. I know there's a lot of them. I don't want to, I might forget someone. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, thanks to everyone that supports and watches me, and hopefully one day I will make everyone proud.
Thank you so much. Before you go, I just want to clarify, your first name on Boxrec, it's a completely different name. I'm guessing when you've gone to Canada, you've got a name that's quite easy to pronounce. Do you want to tell us your real first name?
It's a bit cultural. So in my family, how it works is my mother, she can't say the name of my grandfather. Okay. Like she can't, for respect. So she can't say her husband's father's name. And I'm named after my grandfather.
Wow.
So that's why they had to give me a second name, which was Arthur. Well, Artur.
I got you.
And that's just my middle name. But my passport name, my real name is Movladin.
Movladin, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, Movladin Biyarslanov.
Okay, great. Otto, it's been brilliant speaking to you. Really enjoyed speaking to you. I wish you all the best, and I'll be keeping an eye on your career, and we'll catch up soon.
Thanks, brother. Thanks for having me. All the best.
Thank you.